Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet again another live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. If you are tuning in live, that is. If you are watching this maybe the day after, the week after, the month after, then I guess thank you still for tuning in and joining us on YouTube. So I'll let everyone get involved first of all. So we've just put the link out on Instagram and on Discord. So many of you have already been waiting for the lives to start, but here I am. Quite a bit to cover. You'll notice the markets are maybe not as great as they were last week. However, we still have a vast amount, shall we say, of positive news in the crypto space. So I will cover that plus loads more in tonight's live. Also, some big updates from the UK government. Sorry, I keep moving this mic. It is new, so I'm trying to kind of find that perfect position. Big news from the UK government. So you would have seen what day was it, on Monday or Tuesday, that we had put out a little post regarding, in fact I can actually just show you that post. Let me just make sure, let me see, there we go. So this post here, which I will dive into in a lot more detail in the next few minutes, but Rishi Sunak sets out plan to make the United Kingdom a global crypto asset technology hub. So that's quite interesting. I'll give you my opinion on that in a few minutes time, like I said. But again, just to say welcome back everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Yet again, another live stream up and running, I guess. We are doing now, this is our fourth live stream on YouTube, so we're getting there. Don't forget, if you are new and you don't subscribe, of course the old YouTuber saying subscribe. In fact, like this video as well. That's what they always say in it. So go like this video right now, and then also subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And whatever else, turn on post notifications, all that good jazz that other YouTubers say. I guess we need to hammer down, and I'll try and get like an exact saying what I say, but like, subscribe, post notifications, please, and thank you. Okay, cool. So we will crack on and get through why you're all here. We'll get through and chat some crypto. So as always, if there's anything you do need from us, please do check out our website. Simply type in Crypto Glasgow on Google and you'll find us with the top result. If you can't find us for whatever reason, then ccgla.co.uk, you will find us in anything you need, whether it's a link to Swissborg, to Bybit, to a VPN even. Do recommend getting a VPN, but anything you do need, please check it out. There is a deposit bonus and some money back on a lot of these things as well, so there's a reason why we tell you to use our links, because it benefits you and it benefits us for the greater good. So moving swiftly on to the IG page, as I always do.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Apologies, my watch is for whatever reason chatting to me. I always always start with going through the IG page. Not much going on other than our sick graphics, as you will hopefully all be loving recently. Again, our graphics guy is on point, as you'll see from the past, for the past 6 months, but the past few weeks has been good. So hopefully you're still enjoying the content. Also, with crypto being a little bit quieter, we have noticed that everyone goes a little bit quieter. So please make sure that you are still interacting and chatting away, sending us DMs, replying to our stories, and just getting chatty, even though the market isn't as exciting as it normally is. Speaking of that, let's chat. How do I close this? Clear. Let's chat prices, because they have been interesting, to say the least. Let's see. The Coachy Chef is saying, I've heard people say join the movement. There we go, there's another one. I'll add that to my list. I want to try and lock it down to say, so I sound like a proper YouTuber at some point. Anywho, yes, okay, so for anyone that's not watching this, maybe they're listening to it in the car or in their AirPods, out a walk, whatever it may be, out walking the dog, in the gym. First of all, I will try and relate I'll try and keep you in mind, basically. So when I'm going through like the top 10, and that's top 10 in crypto, I will always say, look, if you're not listening, then pay attention, because I do bring it up on screen. Because we do understand that not everyone gets to watch it on YouTube. People are busy and people like to listen to it like it's a podcast as well. So that definitely helps. Sorry, Dex texting me as I'm live here as well. So if I do look down at my watch and start laughing, it's that's the reason. Okay, so prices then. For anyone that isn't watching, I'm going to cover off the top 10 on CoinStats, and just give my opinion. Really, it's exciting. In a strange way, it's exciting. So Bitcoin then, $43,985, down almost 5%, but down just over 4% on the day. Ethereum, $3,235, down almost 7% for the day. We've then got BNB sitting at $424, down almost 6% for the day. Solana down at $119, down almost 10% today. Terra Luna, $109, down almost 5% today. Our beloved XRP sitting at 77 cents, down 6.5%, almost 7% on the day. Cardano, $1.10, down almost 8%. And then lastly, in 10th, it's Avalanche with $85.70, down almost 9% for the day. So you'll see a common trend here. Everything's down. So there's no hiding the fact that the market is down quite a bit today. The actual total market cap itself is still holding strong above 2 trillion, down just over 5% for the day. But going back to last week, we'll see, it was there or thereabouts. It hasn't really changed the past week. I always the past few weeks, I have covered the market cap. Simply going to last week, it was 2.2.5. So we've not really done much. I know it looks quite kind of horrible in terms of from 2.3 down to 2.1. That's a lot of money, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not huge. In all honesty, it's just not ideal. However, you'll notice Bitcoin dominance is up, and then altcoins are down more than Bitcoin. Again, majority of this stuff goes without saying. If Bitcoin's pulling back, altcoins are going to pull back harder. Everyone should kind of know that by now, and it's a common trend we see, unfortunately. But the more you know, the more you understand, and the more you can keep your head in the game when it's I would say boring. It's not really boring. The prices are boring, but being in crypto isn't boring because, well, I'm about to tell you some of the news articles. But the more you understand that there's reasons behind that. Again, I'll cover a little bit. I'll give you a sneak peek for anyone that's watching who is not a Discord member. I will give a sneak peek of a breakdown that we posted just about half an hour ago, explaining kind of why is the dump, why are we crashing, or why is the markets coming down? Like what's going on? Is it over? And we'll give an explanation to why we personally think that. So that's the top 10. And market cap, again, not the worst we've seen. It's down 5%, but look, it's not it's still holding decent levels, shall we say? Bitcoin in particular, still holding there or thereabouts on that 44k mark. Dipped slightly below, but we are back up to 44k. Or it just dipped again, but we are up to about 44k and holding relatively okay for now. But only time will tell, and we shall keep you updated. Okay, right, so moving on to not really news, but one thing I wanted to cover just before we move on. Do you remember going back, was it last year? Did it even happen last year, or was it 2020? No, it was last year, definitely last year. What am I talking about? So the Bitcoin 2021 event was when the El Salvador news came out. So huge news that El Salvador were now kind of making Bitcoin a currency as such, in short. So that conference from last year, which happens every year in Miami, is on again right now. Well, I think it officially starts tomorrow, I think it is. It does say here 13 hours, but I'm sure they've got like a pre-event and it's on today, and they've got like a music event as well, like Logic's there and all that. There's a few big names playing at it. But anyway, there could be big news coming from this. Who knows? Last year we had, like I said, the El Salvador news, which was huge. and Bitcoin did actually kind of take a bit of a tumble after that news, but then we did obviously, well, we all know what happened last year with Bitcoin. It got back up to its all-time high. So let's see if anything exciting even comes from this. It could be a non-event, it could just be an interesting event to see all of the speakers together and under kind of one roof. But yeah, just want to let you know it's on. So you'll probably see a lot of news articles this weekend coming out of Miami and the Bitcoin conference. So just in case you're wondering why there's maybe a influx of adverts or news articles, this is probably why. Okay, so not directly related to crypto. However, we did post this on our Instagram page today, and I also mentioned it to the members yesterday, and I'm going to bring it to all of you today, simply because Elon Musk being Elon Musk, whether it's crypto he's involved in, whether it's cars he's involved in, whether it's social media he's involved in, he tends to have what's called as, well, what's now coined the Elon effect. So we've all heard of the Coinbase effect, where we're now kind of living in the era of the Elon effect. And what I mean by that is, again, if you've seen the post today, Twitter rose, the stock price rose 27%, which is the highest rise it's ever seen since its launch in 2013. So very interesting and exciting if you are a holder of Twitter stock, but also just an incredible time because Elon Musk is an innovator, one of the publicly known richest men in the world, and one of the smartest men in the world as well. So you'll recall last week, if you were watching last week's live, I spoke a little bit about this and what was his plans, why is he asking all these questions on Twitter, what is he planning? Is he planning to open his own open his own social media? Like, what's going on? What is going on? So that was on the Wednesday, and then news broke on the Thursday, I believe, or the Friday, that this had happened. So what is this? This being Elon Musk buying almost $3 billion worth of stock in Twitter. So I'll read a little bit of this article. Again, like I said, it's not directly related to crypto yet. However, we all know Elon's thoughts on crypto, and Twitter as well. Actually, Twitter's a huge kind of adopter of crypto and the Bitcoin Lightning Network and whatnot. So you can send money on Twitter using the Bitcoin Lightning Network. And Jack Dorsey, who has stepped down as CEO, but the kind of former CEO was like the pro biggest Bitcoin maxi there is. So it's that's why this news story has become such a big deal, because there's assuming plans that Elon's going to kind of bring more crypto adoption or whatever it may be to Twitter. Okay, so headline being then, Elon Musk promises to make significant improvements to Twitter, calls the crypto spam bots the single most annoying problem. We've all seen them, I won't go on about them, but we've all seen them and we all hate them. Okay, so after disclosing on Monday that he has taken a 9.2% stake in Twitter, the Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has joined Twitter's board of directors, according to the social media giants filing with the SEC. No one likes the SEC, do we? But Musk is now Twitter's largest shareholder, which is very interesting. The Twitter CEO, Parag Agrawal, I think that's how you pronounce it, tweeted welcoming Musk to his company's board. And the Tesla boss replied, looking forward to working with Parag and Twitter board to make significant improvements to Twitter in the coming months. So don't know what it will be. I wish we could actually see the caption on here, but I don't believe that it shows up for whatever reason. No, I don't know why it doesn't show up. Anyway, what I'd put in the caption was, is Elon Musk going to make it mandatory that you hold Dogecoin before you can use Twitter? Or is he going to bring back Donald Trump? Like, what's going on? So there's many things that can happen with Elon Musk being at the helm of the board, or at least on the board. And I mean, I'm an avid Twitter user, as most of you will be as well. and a big fan of Elon Musk. So exciting news for me anyway. Don't hold any Twitter stock, so shouldn't really care too much. However, it's more about the what's going to happen, what's going to change, because the freedom of speech stuff is definitely an issue. Again, I won't speak too much on this week. Go watch last week's live stream because I spoke a little bit more in detail about it. But freedom of speech is obviously a big deal now, and I feel it's important that something happens. So hopefully a man like Elon can fix that. But yeah, that's all. I won't say go into it too much, just because it's not directly related to crypto as of yet. But huge news and very interesting to see. Okay, cool. So moving on to Michael Saylor. He needs no introduction. Michael Saylor, if you don't know him by now, then get to know him. He is one of the largest holders now of Bitcoin. Pro Bitcoin for a long time. Holds a massive personal bag of Bitcoin, and also holds a massive business bag of Bitcoin, as you'll see from this tweet. Now, I'll read it over. There's an article I want to cover, but what you do tend to find is these tweets are very perfectly timed. They tend to come out after a bit of a dump, and people always then question Michael Saylor and be like, well, you missed, he bought it like 2-3 weeks ago or something, so he was up money. Plus, at the end of the day, his average buy is only 30,000. Well, I say only, that's quite high in comparison to other people, but nonetheless, I'll read this then. So, MicroStrategy has purchased an additional 4,167,000 Bitcoin for $190.5 million, an average price of 45,714 per Bitcoin. As of the 4th of April, MicroStrategy holds 129,218 Bitcoins. Nuts. And they were acquired for 3.97 billion at an average price of 30,700. So, again, that's not a spelling mistake. Macro and micro. Again, I will read a little bit from this article and it'll make a bit more sense, but they are essentially the same company. Yeah, it's like I'm saying, these are always quite perfectly timed, which is very, very strange, but we can always rely on Michael Saylor. Now, let me just stop saying I'm going to read the article and I'll actually read it first, and then I'll go on to why, as much as Michael Saylor does get a bit of heat for the timed articles, and people were kind of like, oh, who cares, just another rich man buying more Bitcoin. I want to try and explain my take on it, on why I think it's so important that this is actually happening, and why we should be, I wouldn't say scared, but why we should definitely be thinking a little bit more into these big people, these big rich men buying into Bitcoin so heavily. So I'll read this over and then I'll explain my opinion on that. So again, MicroStrategy spends, well, it says 200, but it's 190, and the total holdings are 129,218 Bitcoin. Can you imagine that? Imagine opening up your ledger and just seeing that figure. Insane. Okay, yep, so should I even read any more of this? I'm just trying to think because I feel like I'm going to cover most of it. Yeah, okay, let's read this part and then, because I've kind of already covered most of that anyway. So Saylor has long been bullish about BTC. He said during his company's quarter one earnings call, I see evidence of a lot more institutional adoption, greater adoption amongst macro and other hedge funds, and we look forward to the next wave of institutional adoption that I think should be driven as people get more educated and more aware of what digital property is. So again, like I said, he's been bullish for a long time and he's held for a long time, and he almost every time makes news articles or headlines when he buys Bitcoin because he buys so much of it, which leads me on to my kind of thinking behind this and why I feel that you should pay more attention to this. So we all know, right? So we all know Bitcoin is capped. There will only ever be 21 million ever. They can never be recreated or kind of made again, right? apparently there's around, I think it's about 3 or 4 million that were lost. So I think realistically there's only about 17 million Bitcoin that will ever be available, shall we say. So I know that seems like a lot. 17 million seems like a lot. It's a big number. But when you think about the billions of people that are actually in existence and the billions of people that are out there and the thousands of millionaires that are out there and just the billions of general population, I guess, if you can call us all of us that, who are interested in investing in the next big thing. So think about it simply from a supply and demand point. 17 million Bitcoin that will ever be produced. They're not all produced at the same time. We know that. That's the whole point of a blockcoin. The Bitcoin halving event. So every 4 years, the supply of Bitcoin daily is halved by 50%. So we had that last year, which is why we believe the market took such a spike. Because if you're taking the supply of something, cutting it in half, the demand at an all-time high, then there's going to be movement in price. So you think that into consideration, right? So I think there's been now, is it 4 halvings? I think there's been now. And it happens, like I said, every single 4 years until the year, I think it's 2136. So a long time away. We will never see those days. But that will be when the last Bitcoin is mined, technically. So again, like I said, when you're seeing big people like this buying tons and tons and tons of Bitcoin, they're already billionaires. They're already multi entrepreneurs, have multiple businesses. Do we think that there's maybe something that they know that maybe other people don't know? Because he's not the only billionaire that's doing it. We know that. Michael Saylor's just one of the outspoken billionaires that are buying Bitcoin like it's going out of fashion, to be quite frank. So yeah, do you not think there's maybe a reason why they're doing that? You think about it, like I said, if someone buys all of the Bitcoin that's available, but you really want that Bitcoin, how much are you willing to pay? And again, it goes back to the supply and demand aspect of Bitcoin and most crypto, but particular Bitcoin in this case. So that's why I feel like, as much as these tweets, right? So we see them all the time, and like I said, they always tend to come out when the markets are not dumping, but when the markets are going down, and people get annoyed, oh, here we go again, Sailor's out, become even richer and hold even more Bitcoin for the future, so that no one else, or not no one else, but so that pretty much no one else can get a hold or hold as much as he can hold. Think about it like that. There's a reason that these big names are buying as much as they're buying and as frequent. They don't care about the price. They don't care if they're paying 45,000 or whether they're paying 5,000. They don't care. They care about this number here. That's what they care about. Because if you believe in the technology, you believe in the future, you believe in finance and where it's going, then you want as many a Bitcoin as possible. That's quite frank. As an investor, personally, that's what I want. I want as many as possible. The altcoins will make me as much money as possible to then inevitably flip into Bitcoin when it's cheaper, obviously. Because I'm out bargain hunting. I'm not out buying Bitcoin at 45k, nor 35k, nor 25k. That's still far too high. So I'm out making money on altcoins to then eventually move back into Bitcoin, which, like I said, most people want to do it that way. Most people play it that way as well. Okay, hopefully that helps my opinion on the Michael Saylor stuff. It's an interesting topic, and I don't feel, like I said, people pay it enough attention. First of all, I feel like people are too quick to, and again, it's a thing we've noticed, and everyone notices this. People are only in this to try and make quick money, and it's a shame because you're missing out on, well, one of the main reasons to be involved, and it's shaping the future of finance. I won't go on about it too much. I won't get all kind of all deep on you and kind of go on a bit of a rant about why you should be in it for the technology. But the issue I find is that people are too quick to jump in because of the money that is potentially involved, and then too quick to jump back out if it doesn't go their way in a week or two's time. But guys like Sailor are, I mean, I guess living legends. Can I call them that? Come back in 10 years' time, and we'll see exactly how well this played out. But I've got a good feeling it'll be quite good. So, okay, let me go over that point. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, hopefully you took something from that. And yeah, let me know if you did. Comment below, let me know. Interact. And I will reply to any comments. So if you are not watching this live, you are watching this back, whether it's out in the car, in the gym, walking dog, please do feel free to leave me a comment. And me or one of the team will get back to you, because it's good to get some chit chat going in the YouTube comments as well. Right, okay, so the gov.uk website. Who would have thought we were coming to the gov.uk website to talk about crypto, eh? Well, in a positive way anyway. Positive? Yeah, positive. It's a positive upgrade for the gov.uk website. Let me get a quick sip, and then we shall chat over the headline, which states, government sets out plan to make the UK a global crypto asset technology hub. Also, if you have just joined, and if you haven't just joined, please do press the like button. It would be very much appreciated. And also subscribe. If you have not subscribed, please think about it. Okay, you thought about it? Go subscribe. Okay, cool. So, like I said, the government has today announced, well, a few days ago, has announced moves that will see stablecoins recognised as a valid form of payment as part of the wider plans to make Britain a global hub for crypto asset technology and investment. Is it too late? Is it too little too late? So again, we did post this, and I mentioned this briefly at the start of the stream. We did post this and speak a little bit about it. But to kind of touch over a few points then, stablecoins are to be brought within regulation, paving their way for use in the UK as a recognised form of payment. So the announcement, part of a series of measures to make the UK a global hub for crypto asset technology and investment. And measures include legislating for a financial market infrastructure sandbox, so essentially a group of people to chat about it, to help firms innovate, an FCA-led crypto sprint, working with the Royal Mint on an NFT, that is hilarious, and an engagement group to work more closely with the industry. So kind of what's like 4 points they've made clear so far on their first announcement. So it definitely is. I want to kind of watch how because I don't want to seem overly happy with this, because I feel like there's an agenda here, being that it's the UK. Like, it wasn't so long ago that they were slandering crypto. They now seem to have changed their tune quite quick. Someone's asked here in the comments, does that mean that CGT, so capital gains tax, wouldn't apply if we can buy directly from a stablecoin and don't have to transfer it into a bank? Ash, so no, unfortunately not. Capital gains tax will actually doesn't just affect you when you won't just affect you when you release money from crypto to your bank. If you're going to make a payment with USDC or a stablecoin, whatever the stablecoin is going to be, and pay for that good, if it's a profit, you can be damn sure that the UK Gov, I mean, don't get me wrong, they haven't actually covered this or mentioned it, but in my opinion, you can be sure that they want to tax you in some fashion. If you're making money, they're going to find a way to tax you, whether that's stablecoins, whether that's releasing it to your bank account, whether that's moving crypto to crypto, they're going to find a way. So yeah, unfortunately not. So the next part then, so this is part of a package of measures to ensure the UK financial services sector remains at the cutting edge of technology, attracting investment and jobs and widening consumer choices. So like here what they said UK financial services sector remains at the cutting edge of technology. So they want to remain at the cutting edge, but when was Bitcoin out? Like 13 years ago. And how slow are banks normally to adapt to anything? So don't know how much I agree with that statement. moving swiftly on. So again, this is already, I won't even cover this section, but this is the part I've just covered. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, so Rishi Sunak, said, "It's my ambition to make the UK a global hub for crypto asset technology, and the measures we've outlined today will help to ensure firms can invest, innovate and scale up in this country. So we want to see the businesses of tomorrow and the jobs they create here in the UK, and by regulating the government, that's why I wanted to use this official website to show you that it's an official statement and it's not just from some random news outlet. It came direct from the government, and you'll see there's probably videos on Twitter as well and on YouTube that you can see Rishi Sunak, is that how you pronounce his name, actually saying that as well. So again, there's quite a lot of info on this. I won't cover the whole thing in great detail. If you do want to check it out, I would just Google UK crypto or something and then check out the Gov's website, because it's I'd rather kind of give my own opinion on it. So like I said, then they are bringing stable coins, or they're looking to bring stable coins as the first kind of initial welcoming. Is that right? Yeah, the welcoming of crypto into the UK. And look, don't get me wrong, it's a positive in terms of anyone that's a crypto holder can kind of already do that. Like, technically speaking, if you're going to buy something from, I don't know, I mean, you can buy a car with crypto, you can buy jewellery with crypto, you could buy something from your mate and send them like USD, a stable coin. So it's kind of normal for people that are involved in crypto already, but that's not really who this is aimed at, I don't think. I think it's aimed at people who are maybe a bit more skeptical about crypto or don't really know what it is exactly. I think it's more aimed at those people, and just to get, like they said, to get the UK kind of on par with the innovation of finance. So it's definitely a positive in that aspect, but I just don't trust governments enough to like welcome this with open arms. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who are in this space will be kind of peed off with the fact that governments are even getting involved, because they're so Bitcoin maxis. Basically, if you're a Bitcoin maxi, then you'll hate the fact that governments are now getting involved with Bitcoin and crypto. But the kind of whole point, or not the whole point, but part of the point of a lot of people in crypto and a lot of projects in crypto is to push the financial system and change the financial system for the better. Like, it's been so bad for hundreds of years. So crypto is here to try and disrupt that and change it for the better. So it's inevitable that it's going to happen and it's going to help change and shape the financial future. But like I said, some Bitcoin maxis don't like to see this, and I get it. They like to be decentralized, they like to be not known, and it's unfortunate that that the governments have got hold of crypto, because they do see a future in it. And there's a tweet video I'm going to show you in just a sec from Matt Hancock. So again, love him or hate him, he is now, well, he's not now, but he's always been quite pro crypto and pro entrepreneurship and pro business. Obviously we just know him from being health secretary, but I'll show you the video, and again, love him or hate him, we need to respect the fact that he is kind of helping push crypto and the government to an extent. I don't think he had anything to do with this, don't get me wrong, but he's definitely a vocal. He's vocal on crypto, which is positive. But yeah, it was going to happen. We need to see it happen if we want to make crypto more accessible in our lives. If you want to start getting your wages in crypto, for example, if you want to start buying things in shops with crypto, it needs to happen. But I'd love to know your thoughts. So if you do have any positive or negative thoughts on the UK government kind of moving into the crypto space, then please do let me know. Someone's asked in the comments, I've got about 0.75 ETH, not a lot, but I was thinking about selling it and putting the funds into other coins such as XRP, Sol and OCC for potential better returns. What do you think? Good idea. I wish I could give you a direct answer, but I can't. Maybe best if you do potentially maybe book in to speak to us is maybe best. But for me, I wouldn't exactly directly give you any kind of advice on where to put your money. It's up to you. It's really up to yourself. If you see, put it this way, if you see XRP, Solana, and OCC outperforming the likes of Ethereum, then you need to weigh up those options. So, or if you're happy that you got ETH for a kind of, I don't know, say you bought it at $1,200 or $1,500, whatever it was, and you're up in profit significantly, then you need to weigh those options up. Do you stay comfortable with the money that you've potentially made already, and or do you see the potential of other altcoins making you more than what you've got already? So I guess without directly answering your question, because I can't give that type of advice, think about it like that and then make that decision wisely. Right, the video I was mentioning then, I'm going to try and just play this. I don't know if it will work. I've got my phone here on the left hand side, so I will play it and I'll try and listen in. I know there's music playing in the background, but hopefully this plays over it. Let's just see. Is it working now? Right, I don't believe it's working. Okay, so sorry for that random bit of silence. I don't know why I've done this before. I think it's because there's music playing. Anyway, go check this out. It's on Matt Hancock's Twitter. I'll even just read this section here. It's only a 49-second clip anyway. But if we get the regulation right, crypto will not only accelerate growth, but make financial systems more transparent and reduce crime. We must understand and harness the potential of new technologies, not fear and avoid their disruptive power. So, like I said, Matt Hancock, love him or hate him, he is kind of pro-crypto, he's pro-finance, pro-business, pro-entrepreneurship. He gets it, shall we say. So go check it out and watch the video. It's only, like I said, 49 seconds. He's not really saying much more than what I've just said, but still, it's quite interesting to see, or quite interested to hear, rather, because you listen to him rather than looking at him. But interesting to hear him speak a little bit about this at a crypto club event. So yeah, can you imagine you were at a crypto event actually, and Matt Hancock just rolls up with like his 3 girlfriends or whatever it is he's got? It would be quite funny. In fact, on that note, we are looking to very, very soon get a meetup. So it will be in Glasgow somewhere, obviously somewhere local, in the city centre or whatever. But let's try and get Matt Hancock to come to the meetup, shall we? But no, in all seriousness, we're trying to get something arranged, so stay tuned for that. We'll keep you updated in the near future, but it will just be a free meetup just to chat and meet other crypto people that may spark some new friendships in the space. So yeah, stay tuned for that. We are hoping to bring that very, very soon, plus lots more events and whatnot as well. So an exciting summer, so just look forward to any announcements. Okay, next then, I didn't actually click. In fact, did I click it separately? I don't think I did. There we go. So Terra. So Terra is Luna, for anyone that doesn't know. This is from Blockworks, but new Terra buys another $230 million worth in Bitcoin. Their reserves are now worth over 1.6 billion. So it seems like they're going up against the likes of Michael Saylor. So if you have just joined me, rewind back like 10 minutes and listen to what I spoke about with the Michael Saylor buy in Bitcoin, and you understand why it's important to pay attention to these people that are buying this amount. So they now hold $1.6 billion worth. So it's about half of what Michael Saylor or MicroStrategy holds. Michael Saylor's got his own reserves. The owner, or the master of Luna, Dequan, I think, is that how you pronounce it? Tweeted this out as well, which I thought was quite funny. So again, anyone that doesn't know who this guy is, total legend, go check him out, follow him. I say that, I don't actually follow him, but this is my personal page, that's why. But he tweeted this out earlier today. So today what are my plans? Wrote some emails, bought 230 million in Bitcoin, vacuumed the house, had some McDonald's, now off to walk the dog. So he's just a funny character, I guess, a very interesting and smart character, but some of his tweets are quite funny. And the fact that he's just casually, as casual as you like, he's buying $230 million worth of Bitcoin as well. Quite funny as well, actually. Michael Saylor replied saying, if you hire someone to vacuum the house, you'll have more time to buy Bitcoin. But yeah, again, like I said, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Pay attention. So 230 million, that's not all they hold. They hold 1.6 billion so far. MicroStrategy hold almost 3 billion. Who knows how much Michael Saylor holds? And that's just technically two people that own this amount of Bitcoin. There's a reason, there's a bigger reason than what you think. It's not just about price action. There's a reason why these people are buying it. So anyway, like I said, go back 10 minutes, listen to what I said about the Michael Saylor stuff and a little small rant that went on. And yeah, hopefully you understand. Okay, next then, again, Instagram, Reddit, Coinbase, and GameStop, they are building an NFT marketplace. So I'm not a big fan of NFTs. I'm a big fan on the NFT technology. I'm not a big fan on the NFT hype. So we know that, but I'll just make that clear. But the fact that companies like Instagram, like Reddit, like Coinbase, like GameStop are building NFT marketplaces is huge. The reason for that is it pushes adoption and it pushes the online. Well, it's almost like the next step in online is NFT tech. So you speaking of social media, speaking of online tech, speaking of NFTs, you'll see that Logan Paul actually just announced that he has got a new company and it's about buying or tokenizing goods on the blockchain. In fact, I maybe should have brought that up. Let me see. Logan. I'll see if I can bring it up because it's very interesting. I'm kind of finished with this point anyway. I wanted just to make clear that these big names are trying to push the NFT space. Let me try and find this article. I was there actually. Liquid Marketplace. So the wait is over. Create an account at Liquid Marketplace today and gain early access to our first high valued offering. So that's all they've kind of got so far. I don't know if they've got much more on their website. I'll have a look at that in a sec. But yeah, essentially what's happening is, without getting into it too much, is they have like rare collectibles. So for example, you all know Pokemon was still is a craze, but it's been a craze the past 12 months in terms of the prices of it. So they are holding a lot of kind of trading cards, to be honest, but they're doing like football cards and not like UK football, not Scottish football. Like American football, they're doing basketball, American sports cards that are worth millions of dollars. Essentially what they're doing is using NFT technology is tokenizing each one of those collectibles. So if you can't afford, which many people can't, $2 million to buy a trading card, then you can invest X amount of ETH or whatever it may be into a small portion of that card. So you've got a legal ownership, part ownership of that card, or whatever it may be at the time. And with that, so say for example, it sells out. So I don't know if they're going to do it where it's like X amount of spaces or whatever it may be, but let's just say for talking's sake, right? They've got a card, there's 50 slots available, each slot is 50,000 USD, right? So you buy that with ETH, whatever. Once all 10, 20 people, whatever it may be, whenever they decide, have got that ownership, then that becomes a kind of community almost, where they can decide, look, we want to sell this card or put it on the market for 2x its value, 3x its value, 10x its value, and if it sells, they all get an equal individual split of the profit. Does that make sense? So it's huge in my opinion. Fair play. It's about time. I mean, this was again always going to happen, and this is something that we spoke about previously on one of the Cambro podcasts that we've done. I'm sure it was Deck that spoke about it, so go check out the Cambro podcasts if you haven't already. But we did speak about NFT tech and tokenizing things on the blockchain. So it was coming, it was inevitable, and it just so happens that Logan Paul, who always seems to be ahead of the curve some way, has been involved. I think the company's been going since like October, but it's only just been announced literally yesterday, I think it was. But yeah, that's again to lead off of the whole NFT stuff that I was speaking about. Did I close it? Yeah, I must have closed it. The NFT stuff from the Instagram and whatnot, it's all just driving towards NFT space. Basically, blockchain's taking over the world. that's it. And blockchain and crypto kind of go hand in hand. This marketplace, to my knowledge, will simply only run on Ethereum, I think it is primarily. But I'm assuming they will accept like stable coins and whatnot as well. But let me just see the website. I don't think they've got much on it. There we go. So yeah, it's just showing you some of the cool and the most elusive and rare collectibles ever. So again, quite interesting. If you want to know more about it, then go check them out. I feel like I'm doing like some sort of ad for them. Logan, if you're watching, send me money. But yeah, I just thought it was quite cool, and it led quite nicely off of that NFT stuff. Okay, next then. What was this last tab actually? Oh yeah, cool. So the next one then, before we start to kind of round it up, Binance.US valued at 4.5 billion, closes a $200 million seed round. So the reason I really want to speak about this is more to do with the investors behind it. So investors in the round include VanEck, Circle Ventures, RRE Ventures, Foundation Capital, Original Capital, Gain Gels, and Goldhouse. So go Google any of them. They are huge names, I guess, in the space. So I found this quite interesting, and to be honest, I found the fact that they're valued at $4.5 billion was quite interesting, because Binance, don't forget, in fact, it actually says it there, I probably should have just read that, but Binance.US is the United States partner company of the cryptocurrency exchange Binance. So just think how much CZ, who's the kind of CEO of Binance, just imagine how much he's worth. So the US based Binance is worth 4.5 billion, and in the worldwide Binance, I don't think it actually tells you how much it's worth, but I can only imagine it's a scary number. But yeah, interesting to see the names that are investing in the seed round, and then the actual valuation of Binance US. Shouldn't bother any of you guys though, because I know not many of you are from the US watching this currently. But yeah, still, nonetheless, very interesting to see. Okay, we'll finish up with, I should have actually moved this along one slide, but finishing up with Starbucks announces NFT initiative as union busting controversy continues. So Starbucks have announced plans to get into the NFT business, join the long list, then fired a union leader at the same time, or the same day. So the reason I just wanted to cover this, I think it's quite funny because, again, if you've watched the podcast with Cambro and Crypto Glasgow, we spoke about NFTs for about 20 odd minutes and gave our true opinion on it and how it's hype and how it's a buzzword and whatever it may be, and literally everyone's jumping on it. Again, like we said, NFT technology is great, the future's great, the future's bright for it, but the non-fungible token asset that is a graphic, i.e. a JPEG, isn't as exciting currently. So yeah, I won't kind of talk too much into this, but it's just quite funny to see Starbucks now are going to get into the NFT space, just like everyone else. So good on them. Okay, let me. I've got a few more questions in the comments, and then we shall finish up. Brody has asked, on Swissborg, how can they offer 9% on UST but only 4.5% for USDC? So you tend to see this, they will put on a kind of offering at the start, and I don't know how long it will last. But for example, the UST, I'm only guessing this, I don't know the official reason why you'd need to speak to Swissborg for that, but they tend to do this initially at the start to get the trading in and get some UST locked up, so that they can then start kind of using that to make the money back to then pay you that interest. But they do tend to, for stable coins anyway, They do all tend to be about the same rate: USDC, USDT, and the USD Euro, or not USD Euro, EURT, which is the digital euro. They all tend to be the exact same amount, unless, don't get me wrong, unless UST is different because it's Luna and it's a decentralized stablecoin. It might just be different. I don't know. But what I tend to do is ask less questions, have more actions. So if you are gonna, in fact, someone else asked this as well today on Instagram, but if you are, if you're questioning why you're getting a higher percentage rate on one USDT or compared to another USDC, by the time you might get an answer, you could have had that money staking and made extra money from it. If in 2 weeks' time, if in 4 weeks' time, that 9%, that 10%, whatever it may be, I think it was up to like 18.5%. But if that drops down to 4.5%, then so be it. You managed to get 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the higher rate, which all does matter. And the reason I'm saying that is because Swissborg is quite good in terms of they calculate the interest daily and pay it to you daily. So it's compound interest. So you're putting in 10 grand and having it for 4 weeks at 18.5%, for example, then it's dropping down to 4.5%. You're still making money over that 4 week period, and it's adding on to the 10,000. So every day it will grow a little bit and grow a little bit and grow a little bit, which means you're actually getting 18.5% on 10,050p, 10,000 £1, 10,000 £2. Do you get me? So it's compound interest. So the sooner you actually just get the money in and don't ask questions as such, the better off it can be for your balance. I get it though, everyone's still quite skeptical, right? I get that, and I'm not trying to point the finger and say that you're not right in what you're doing. Definitely question everything, but like I said, don't, when it comes to finance and it comes to interest yielding and whatnot, as long as you understand that the platform you're using, i.e. Swissborg, is a reputable brand and you can trust it, and that you can get your money back in less than 24 hours. Sometimes you need to take that chance to make that extra bit of money. Does that make sense? Hopefully that does make sense. I feel like I went a little bit ranty there, but I just want to make clear that we do get asked that quite often. And for me particularly, I wouldn't have questioned it. I would have just jumped in it. But that's me. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, hopefully that helps, mate. The last one then, on that note with splitting assets, do they all have to agree to sell? So I'm assuming so, yes, because they're all equal owners. So this is just going back, for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, this is just going back to this. If they are all equal owners in the product or the asset, whatever you want to call it, then I would assume that they need 100% acceptance from everyone. But it may be that as long as they get 9 out of 10 holders to say yes, then they can do it. But I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough. I don't even know if they've released that information yet, but I would like to assume that it would be everyone has to agree, because the whole point of it is that you've got an equal share and an equal right of that asset. So, and then someone else has commented there, you would just sell your share of ownership. Yeah, you can do that as well. If everyone else is not wanting to, but you want to, you can still share your ownership. I think the point was more if you want to sell the asset. So if 10 people like collectively own the asset because they've bought all the spaces, and they think that asset's worth double what they've paid for it collectively, then they can agree to sell the actual asset itself and then share the profits. So there's probably many ways that this will work. Or yes, they could just simply sell your ownership, because it will still be that supply and demand aspect. So you spend $50,000 on it, there's no one else can buy it, and you really, really, really want it, then I'm sure someone could sell you their space, but they'll want 70,000 for it or 80,000 for it. And I think it will just cause another kind of supply and demand, basically. Again, I believe that's how it works. Don't quote me on that. Go look into it if you are interested. But yeah. Okay, just to finish things off then, to look at the Bitcoin fear and Fear and Greed Index. So currently sitting at a neutral position at 48. Last week we were sitting a little bit greedy at 55, and then last month we were sitting in extreme fear. So again, we all kind of know how the market's looking. We all feel the market the exact same way. We are a bit kind of iffy, not really knowing what's going on. Let me just actually check what the prices are at right now. But yeah, literally nothing's changed since we last looked at them. Still sitting at that kind of 43,744k mark, there or thereabouts. But yeah, so the sentiment is, well, personally the sentiment from us is still bullish overall, but the market at the moment is putting some people off. But don't let that put you off. Give it this time to learn a little bit more, speak to some professionals, gain more knowledge in crypto every single day, whether it's watching these YouTube videos, whether it's looking at our Instagram page. And for anyone that doesn't follow us, please do follow us on Instagram. It's simply just crypto.glasgow. Watch our stories, ask us questions, interact on YouTube, whatever it may be. We're always happy to help. And of course, join the Discord if you really want to kind of knuckle down and learn. Then please do feel free to join the Discord. Again, this is the section I wasn't going to show you, but we did post a big update regarding why we believe the market is dumping. So go check that out if you are a member. If you're not a member for whatever reason, strange if you're not, but if you're not a member, then please do feel free to join. And you can do that simply by clicking this link, which will take you onto the website, and you can join straight away. And anything else you do need from us, please don't be shy. Click the link tree on our Instagram page and go through it. If you need us, click it. There's a link to it, and we'll be happy to help as much as possible. Okay, cool. That'll be me for this week's news live stream. Can we call it that? Thanks for joining. If you have just recently joined, please do rewind it. Watch it from the start. There was a lot of key things covered. And don't forget, please like this video, subscribe to the channel as well, turn on post notifications, because we are planning a lot more YouTube content over the coming days, weeks, months and years. So yeah, please make sure that you do get involved, and thanks again for tuning in. Let me just try and end this, and I will see you all very, very soon.